Hi, my name is Kimberly. This is my PowerPoint on fluoroscopy. Um, so we'll start with the basics. Fluoroscopy is medical imaging that shows continuous X-ray image on a monitor. I chose fluoroscopy because I didn't know too much about it prior to doing this project, in comparison to the other options that were available. And I just thought it was interesting. And so let's get into it. Let's start off with parts of a fluoroscopy system. So you have the monitor, the video camera, I'm not sure to say this, but coupling, image intensifier, grid, the patient table, filtration, collimation, X-ray tube, and X-ray generator. I'm just going to kind of go over each part just briefly about what it does. So the monitor shows the live X-rays. Since it is live X-ray, we cannot just have a still image. So the monitor shows the procedure as it's going, almost like an X-ray movie. And then the video camera captures everything. And then the image intensifier converts X-ray beam intensity patterns into visible images that can be displayed on the monitor. And then the grid, just an anti-scattered grid to reduce scattered radiation to the workers and the patients. And the table is for the patient to lie down on. Also, while learning about this system, I learned that there is no bucket under the table and that it is above the patient. That's why the grid is right here, because if there is a cassette that is needed, it is above the patient. And also under the table is the X-ray tube, which is different to your traditional X-ray system that is overhead, which could be moved around. So you have the filtration, the X-ray tube, and the X-ray tube generator. On to the next one. So when I was doing research, I looked up some reasons why fluoroscopy would be used. So the most common one that is known is a barium X-ray and edemas. So this is to view the gastrointestinal tract. There could be I forget the word, two contrasts to see what's going on in the gastrointestinal tract. There's a catheter insertion and multiplication. This is to direct the movement of the catheter through blood vessels, bile ducts, and the urinary system. And then there is placement of devices within the body, such as stents, to open narrow or blocked blood vessels, and orthopedic surgery to guide joint replacement and treatment of fractures. I currently am doing clinicals at TCO, and I've heard something along the lines of being done there. And there's a lot more other procedures that can be done with fluoroscopy. I was actually just reading not too long ago about a lumbar procedure about removing fluid from the spine to test to see why someone would be getting like random headaches or other causes, to get that done. with anything, there are dangers with radiation. So with fluoroscopy being live and not just a still shot like a regular exam, you're continuously being exposed to the radiation. So instead of standing behind a wall for like a normal x-ray, the technologist, will normally be in the room, but will be in a full lead shield to help prevent against radiation, as well as the radiologist and the patient, if it's possible. So on the PowerPoint I wrote, fluoroscopy can result in relatively high radiation doses because you're being continuously exposed to the radiation. Just making sure you're not standing right directly in the beam if you don't need to be. Making sure to be accurate but also fast. Proper gowning and lead shielding will help with the high radiation doses. I mean, some of the radiation cannot be avoided simply because of the fact that you are in the room, but a lot can be prevented with good shielding. Making sure to wear a full lead shield from the neck up to the ankles. Moment. So these are just some charts showing the radiation in a fluoroscopy exam. So this is the technologies, and you can see that the red right here is the most radiation, and then out here is the least. So right here in front of the chest area, down by the knees, there's a lot of radiation. So this is where the full body lead protection, what I was talking about in the earlier slide, would come in handy, protecting us against the radiation. So even though the beam is pointing down, it can jump off and become scatter radiation, and I believe this is what it's referring to. And then this one shows risk of cancer incidence per 1 gray of whole body. So you can see that females are at a lot higher risk than males. It shows females at about 50%, and then males at about 35%. And then for 30-year-old adults, you have about 15% for a female and about 10% for a male. And then while I was looking at fluoroscopy, I learned a few things. I learned that in airports, I'm not sure how accurate this is why I didn't put it on my slideshow, that fluoroscopy is used in airports when we get our baggage checked, which would make sense, using the live x-rays while the bags go through the machine to see if there's any bombs, any threats that could cause issues on the airplane. I'm not sure if they use a different system, but from the article that I read, that's what they use to see if there's anything that shouldn't be on your carry-on. The ones that they use in the airport are not they don't use as much radiation as a regular fluoroscopy machine, because they're not looking at bones and soft tissue and detailed parts of the anatomy, just more outlines of shapes and things that would be harmful to bring on a plane. But I also read an article about interventional fluoroscopy and radiation burns. So in the article, it was speaking about patients who received skin reactions from interventional fluoroscopy procedures. So in the article, it said a patient underwent an interventional cardiology procedure using modern fluoroscopy, integrated dose displays. So when they had it done, they were fine. But a couple of weeks later, the patient said that they woke up with a burning sensation in their back, and the wife of the patient saw a rectangular burn a little bigger than a deck of cards, and it seemed to hurt worse the next day and to begin gaining color. And the article was going on about how this can happen with radiation. I'm trying to find the numbers. 1 second. I think it was being exposed to 2 to 5 grays. Oh, my time's running out. But to summarize the article, cells can be injured or killed by radiation, and our bodies can be exposed to the background radiation continuously and have not be able to repair the skin that is exposed. So what I've learned from, I know this is a little short and it's a little short, but what I've learned from my research is that fluoroscopy is very cool. I think I can't wait till that part of clinicals to see the live x-ray and actually experience it, and see what actually goes on. It is a little nerve-wracking with the information that I found about how much radiation you're exposed to more compared to like a regular x-ray exam. But we've learned proper shielding techniques, and we're exposed to radiation every day, even if we're not in a radiated area. So these are my references, and thank you for listening. Have a good night.